I was born for this. I was born for it. I was built for it.
Born for it, and we are back. Baschamania 386. Bash the Brain, day 2, the greatest. I think Yanni tweeted it last night. The greatest day of wrestling of the year. I think bar none. Between the quarters, the semis, the blood round, the dog bone, today is the greatest day of wrestling of the year, and we are going to recap.
Today
We,
is
we
the
are
greatest.
We're going to recap everything from last night. We're going to preview everything from today. We've got scoreboards. We've got the good, the bad, the ugly. We've got potential guests if there's time. We've got betting odds. We've got a little bit of everything.
You know what the problem is with this show? I'm going to tell you right off the top. The problem is with this show is we're going to try to get this in an hour. This is an hour and a half show, easy, maybe 2 hours. We're going to try to get it in 1 hour so you can do this. By 11 o'clock, you can switch, get ready for the next round. But it was we got a great day coming up, but we had a great session last night.
Frack the Hunter in the chat says, for a newbie, what is the blood round? It's the round to make All-American status. Win in the blood round, and you are an All-American. That is the blood round.
Yep.
It's Friday evening after a day and a half of a gauntlet. It is just...
So, you win 2 matches and you get to the quarterfinals, and you're in a really interesting position. Because if you win, you're guaranteed All-American. If you lose, you drop down to the blood round. And you're going to have to win 1 match to be All-American. The good news is that you're 1 match away either way.
Yeah.
Win on the front side, All-American. Don't win, drop down. You still 1 shot. You need to win 1 match, and so we'll get into that in a little bit. But for all the boo birds, now there's a catch here. But for all the boo birds about how Iowa's season's been bad, Iowa has 7 guys 1 match away from AA.
Well,
they have 7 guys 1 match away from AA. Now their matchups are not great; they're actually really bad. But they're there. They put themselves in position.
So before we go weight by weight, where we will both, as we go weight by weight, preview what happened last night, preview today, do you want to do the good, the bad, the ugly? I think that's a good place to start. So, Willie, you can chime in. I was kind of working on this early this morning. Yeah. I don't know if you have additions, but these were some of my thoughts, and then chime in where you see fit. Let's start with the good. Penn State out in front, winning 18 of 20 matches yesterday, outpacing, outscoring last year by a point, despite only putting 8 in the quarters. Last year they put all 10 in the quarters. They're still outpacing, and they're looking great. So Penn State obviously out in front with 40.5 points, looking good. Oklahoma State looking good. They started 15-0. The captain mushed them. He tweeted it out. I was going to tweet it out, and I honestly just didn't get around to it. It was like I have 4 or 5 different Twitter tabs open, and I just didn't get around to tweeting it. Thankfully, I didn't, because they lost 3 straight with D, Alex, and Ryder. But apart from that, they are looking good. Spratley got his first win against V-Rob and getting vengeance from the national finals match. So I thought overall Oklahoma State looked good. You know, we kind of knew Ryder, his shoulder. I don't think we were anticipating him upsetting Nietenbach. D, we'll talk a little bit more about when we get to 165. And then Facundo Mantanona, we kind of knew was going to be a coin toss match. So I think overall Oklahoma State looked good. Starting off 15-0 and then moving, 7 to the quarterfinals. I thought they looked pretty good, all things considered. And then I got Iowa. Iowa's my third good team. They went 8-1 yesterday morning and then 7-1 last night. That is awesome. A very good Friday. Like you said, they're now going to be an underdog in 6 of the 7 quarterfinals this morning. So, two truths here, Iowa fans. Number 1, awesome Friday. Number 2, you're looking ahead, set yourself up, manage expectations. In the quarterfinal round, Iowa has they're facing 2 1 seeds, 2 2 seeds, a 3 and a 4. And then Caliendo has a red hot EJ Parco. So even in the match, their favorite, like they did awesome yesterday. Going to be a gauntlet today.
Yeah, they did put themselves in position. I mean, today is going to be so incredibly pivotal. Like they're going to be they're going to be dogs in every bout. They're going to be underdogs except for Caliendo. However, it's going to be the blood round for them. Their whole tournament, Iowa's whole tournament is going to come to that blood down to that blood round tonight. Whether it's going to be make or break for them.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. So
Yeah.
the good Bash had the good. They had Penn State 18-20. Oklahoma State started 15-0. Iowa started 15-2. So those are the good. Nebraska. Nebraska kind of had a weird day. Like they had a really good day. Cam McDaniel beating Rademacher was huge for them. But they had Van D kind of blow it with 30 seconds left. They had LJ Araju blow it with 15 seconds left. So,
Yeah, I didn't know where to put Nebraska. Like they're out,
yeah,
they're in second, right? But I don't really know. Like they didn't really have the best day, but they didn't really have a bad day. It didn't really.
Yep.
And so then
Okay.
the bad,
Bad.
I just put two schools. We don't like being negative about programs, but if you're doing good, the bad, the ugly, the bad, I had Virginia Tech and Rutgers. Now, neither were necessarily disaster days. Rutgers started off really bad. Rutgers started off 0-7, but then last night, I thought they had a good round. You had Remy Cotton get an upset. You had Kaka get a upset. They had a good rebound round yesterday after starting the day disastrous. I thought they did have a good session two yesterday.
Let me look.
And Virginia Tech didn't have an ugly day. They still like their lightweights looked good. You got Eddie, you got Seidel. Like they are looking good, but having 2 4 seeds go down, Colin Guy and Jimmy Mullen, I didn't think many
brutal.
anticipated that.
Yeah, that's brutal. Here's the thing though about Rutgers. I mean, it's for the program.
Not Mullen. Sorry, I meant Sasso. Sorry.
For the program, Rutgers putting 2 in quarters is really good, and it's salvaged kind of what started off as a 0-7 day. But Aiden Smith went 0-2. Dylan Shaver went 0-2. Olivier is still alive. Andrew Clark went 0-2. Andrew Barbosa went 0-2. Lenny Pinto's still alive. Cartagena's still alive. So they had a lot of 0-2 guys though.
Yeah, so kind of a bad day. Not ugly because I do think after having a disaster morning, they rebounded decently, all things considered. And then the ugly, Willie, Ohio State. I thought Ohio State had an abysmal day, only putting 4 in the quarters. This was a squad that just swept the Big Ten awards because by the opposing the perspective of people who thought they should have got those awards, like specifically Tom Ryan winning Coach of the Year, is, well, they outdid expectations, even your expectations for Ohio State on the year. Well, now, looking at yesterday, if you're power ranking worst days, I mean, they had some bad losses. 3 seed loses to the 14. 7 loses to the 10. Not that bad. 12 loses to the 21. 5 loses to the 21. And then you had a couple losses, 16 to the 1, 12 to the 5, not the worst. And then their wins weren't anything that great. 8 beats a 9, 2 beats a 15, 1 beats a 17, and a 4 beats a 20. So
and you know, we'll get into the analysis of the match when we go through weight by weight, but Brandon Cannon rallied to beat Cardenas, but Cardenas made 100 mistakes in the last 40 seconds of that match, and
Cardenas lost that match. Yeah,
right. Cardenas. I mean, give credit to Cannon, but Cardenas blew it. And if that doesn't happen, Ohio State has as bad a day as you could have.
Yeah, 100%. And with Bouzakis and Feldman both going down, I put Bouzakis and Feldman.
No, I'll say this.
Hold on. Let me finish this one thought. Bouzakis and Feldman going down is kind of similar to Sasso and Colin Guy going down. But I thought the other upsets, I mean, losing to two 20-plus seeds, kind of a rough day. Rough day for Ohio State.
I'll say this though. I'm not. There's Nick Feldman is in no way, shape, or form right. He's not right. So I give Ohio State a little grace on that. That's not Nick Feldman.
Yeah, we don't know. It's like I give Kevin Dresser credit. He came out and told us after that
Tom Ryan did too. Tom Ryan came out and said before Feldman lost, he was in an interview saying Feldman's not right.
Yeah, no, 100%. I'm just saying. Dresser came out and said that, Isaac Dean tore his ACL. They got an MRI just after Big 12s. Rocky Elam had some MRIs, had some issues after Big 12s. So it's like you definitely, unless a coach discloses it, we don't know what some of these guys are dealing with. You kind of just got to, make an analysis based on what you know.
It's certainly to me better when the coach discloses it
100%.
and puts it to bed. But you can also tell. Like, Feldman was in a dogfight with Jarrett Stoner. That's not Nick Feldman. I don't care. And that's no disrespect to Jarrett Stoner, but there's parallel. There's obvious things. And Nick Feldman should be beating Jarrett Stoner. I knew something was wrong with him immediately. I tell you another one. Well, you don't have them on the list. But Iowa State had a horrendous day. Now, did it injuries? Sure, but losing Rocky is devastating. I mean, devastating. For a team like, I said it on shows 100 times in the last 2 weeks. 3 weeks ago, Iowa State was anywhere from third to. They were 3, 4, 5, and they lost Frost. Now they lost Dean. Now they lost Rocky, which is a 2 seed, which buoys everything. I mean, 3 days ago, Rocky looked like a surefire finalist on paper, right?
I know.
And, for them not to have finalist points out of Rocky just sinks their ship of any chance of trying to get on the podium. And Rocky, he's another one that was obviously not right. He looked like a shell of himself. He couldn't move. So with both Feldman and Elam, I'm not bagging on them. I'm not saying they were clearly not right. I feel bad for him. And Rocky, like, eyeball test, dude. Rocky looks. It really makes a lot of sense. Rocky goes out on the mat, and I just look at him before there's a point scored. I'm like, Rocky is skin and bones. He's skin and bones. What is happening here? And it makes sense because he probably lost. Like, if you're hurt, it's really hard to lose weight.
And I don't think he was on the mat in between Big 12s and NCAA's.
Right, and so they said that he wasn't on the mat, so he probably lost the weight in a not good way, and he's a big guy. He pulls hard for 97, so I feel bad for Rocky there. But it was a bad day.
Yeah. All right, let me pull up the team scores real quick. Just we'll do the team situation, and then we'll go weight by weight, just because we're talking good, the bad, the ugly. Let's pull these up. So Penn State out in front with 40.5 points, 8 in the quarters. Willie hates that the Concies is to the left of the championship. I apologize. This is Flo's a screenshot from Flo's Next Gen system. Penn State out in front, 8 in the quarters. Nebraska behind them with 7. Iowa, Oklahoma State, and Nebraska all with 7, and they're separated by 2 points. 27, 25.5, 25. Ohio State has 23 points with 4 in the quarters. Iowa State with 21.5 with 3 in the quarters. Arizona State, good day for Arizona State. They're in 7th with 17 points and 4 in the quarters. I caught flack because of that Colton Hawks photo. I had to use it. Thankfully, Eric Thompson last night said, here you go, sent me a photo of Colton Hawks in an ASU singlet. So we'll use that one. That's the current team picture. I posted this too, so go to Baschamania or go to Justin J. Bash on Twitter. I have that everywhere. All right, William, let's go through weight by weight. Let's start with 125 pounds. And spoiler alert, Willie and I, we both had some great weights. We both had some bad weights. This was Willie's worst weight, 125 pounds. If you get nothing else from this show, through the second round, I have 62 correct picks. Willie has 60. Our intern tweeted that out yesterday on the Baschamania account. Wasn't me tagging myself. It was an intern. But 125, Willie was the toughest weight for you. Heavyweight was the toughest for me. You got half wrong at 125. I got half wrong at heavyweight. But 125.
I didn't do particularly well in round 2. Some of that was, I don't know, bad picks. Some of it was me going rogue on a couple things like Tyler Klinsky. Some of it was stuff nobody can see Rocky Elam lose. Nobody can see Nick Feldman losing a 1-1. But anyway, 125, our matchups are Lillidahl, Dean. I think we both got that right. Spratley, Seymour. You had Spratley. I had V-Rob. And to me, that matchup, V-Rob gets the first takedown. And we've been banging 125s all year for not scoring. V-Rob goes out there, gets a takedown quick as hell. And I'm like, this match is over. And Spratley hits him in that Jonesy tilt and roll through tilt and changes the course of the match in one move. So Spratley moves on. Moran beat Bouzakis. I mentioned in the show yesterday. Now, I mentioned the show before the second round. Watch out for that match. But I never thought that would materialize the way it did.
No, Moran stuck it to him. I mean, Bouzakis was never in that match, and I think the final was 10-2. I did not see, even if you were kind of keeping an eye on Moran, you didn't think that Bouzakis was going to get majored, only scoring 2. It's very clear that, we talked about Bouzakis all year with the weight, and it's very clear that it's just 125 is just too light for him.
Yeah, but hold the phone here.
Okay, I'll hold it. There, I got it.
Here's what I don't understand. Yes, I understand. I've been the guy since the beginning of the year saying a 3-day tournament is going to be tough for Bouzakis.
Yep, you have.
I'm not. I said all year I'm not sold until I'm sold until I see it on a multi-day tournament, on a 3-day tournament. However, his best round should come at night.
I know it, but I told you when we were on FaceTime, I said my only concern, and I think I said this on the show yesterday too, is but how big can he get knowing if he's trying to not get too big to keep his weight in check for Friday morning? I had kind of said, like, man, is he going to get that heavy, though? I agree with you that Friday night should be better than the morning. If you told me he went 1-1 yesterday, I would not have thought the win was in the morning and the loss was at night, for sure.
I know. So, so that's why in my pre-tournament picks, I had Bouzakis losing this morning because for that exact reason. What Bouzakis looked like last night, I thought he was going to look like this morning.
Correct. Same. I had Volk beating Bouzakis this morning.
And so it makes sense to me. The timing does not make sense to me. I don't know. Maybe he was trying to keep his weight down. I don't know why that would be. I mean, I understand why that would be, but that's not a good idea. To me, you kind of let your weight go a little bit. You just keep hydrated, and you worry about the weight after your second round match. But all right.
Also, quick note: go to bashmania.com/brackets for updated PDF brackets. I still get a lot of DMs and questions for them. Just go to bashmania.com/brackets. They're uploaded right after each round. So if you want updated brackets.
I missed Spratley, V-Rob. I had V-Rob. I missed Moran, Bouzakis. I missed Volk, Klinsky. I had Klinsky. Volk won 2-0, escape, and ride out. And to me, the difference was the Big Ten riding tough. And Klinsky Klinsky just wasn't ready for that. He couldn't get out of bottom. Really tough ride by Volk. I know it's revisionist history, or like if you could do it all over, but if you could do it all over, Klinsky maybe should have took neutral. Mark Anthony McGowan beat Provo. I had Provo, so that's my fourth one wrong, and Eddie Ventresca won.
Yeah, I had Provo and Buzakis were my losers there, so I went 6 for 8. And man, are we on tap for some great quarters today.
Yep. Quarters are Lillidahl, Dean, Spratley, Seymour, Moran, Volk, Mark Anthony McGowan, Ventresca. Good matches.
Yeah, and on the betting, on the betting odds, Spratley's like minus 285 against Seymour, plus money, plus 245. I thought that was interesting. Yeah, Spratley's looking good. Seymour undefeated on the year. Very surprised he's plus money there. This is where it also gets interesting, is like when you make picks and you lose some of them early. Like a lot of the picks I got wrong early kind of corrected themselves. Like now I got Luke, Seymour, Volk, Eddie. Yeah. So all 4 of mine are alive for me to go 4 for 4 in the semis.
Yeah, they'll correct themselves. 133 was all chalk. 1 through 8. The only one I missed, I had Serrano over Baker, and he did have a lead, but Baker kind of chased him down at the end. And somebody like tweeted at me because I said Baker, when the seeds came out, I said, how the hell did Baker get the 8 seed? And somebody like came at me about it. It was like, oh, you see, he lived up to his seed. Listen, I'm not. There's a difference between living up to your seed and how the hell did he get the seed to begin with. Baker had losses to the 26, the 30, and the 27 or something like that this year, and he had no good wins. So I'm not saying Baker's not good. I'm saying how the hell did he get that seed? Anyway, this was all chalk here. I missed one. Did you?
We both missed it. We both took Serrano. Everything else was very chalk. Literally, even like this weight literally went chalk. 133 and 141, I believe, both went chalk. So
yeah.
You know,
Gallion had Larkin in trouble for a little bit. That was a dogfight for a little bit, and then Larkin stuck him.
Yeah, I thought Drake looked awesome. I'm really looking forward to him versus Blaze today, that rematch. You know, both got techs. Yeah. Blaze got 2 techs. Drake got 11-1 major and then a tech 19-4. Really good. I'm really looking forward to these quarters here. Jax Forrest versus Baker this morning. Larkin versus Seidel. Blaze versus Drake, and Bird versus Davino. Bird great Davino set. Again, great. Betting odds, it's like Davino's minus 300, I want to say, against Bird. So we'll run through the odds, but yeah, very chalk weight. I am excited for this weight now. The quarters is going to be a movie, as I believe the kids call it.
141 also chalk. Top 8 seeds at 33. Top 8 seeds at 41, Mendez over Ricciardi, Von Bauer over Nash Singleton, Stanich over Wells, Etch over Henson, Hardy over Davis. Hardy got a non-controlled takedown. He almost had a non-controlled takedown twice. Yeah. Bailey over Composto. He looked good. No, Cornella over Composto. Nasir over Consiglio. Vega over Griffin. That match was entertaining. Why is everybody did Davis do something stupid or something? I see everybody ragging on.
I think the Braden Davis hate is so annoying, whether it's Penn State fans, other fans. I mean, he was a little mad after the match, kind of ran off the mat kind of quickly, wasn't paying 100% attention to it, but I did see he was visibly upset after the match. I don't know. I don't think this hate for Braden Davis is warranted. And the like.
Well, here's my thing, and again. Getting new fans is good. Wrestling becoming a little bit more mainstream is great. Get more people to watch the greatest, to be passionate about the greatest sport that ever been freaking created, the first sport in the world. I love it.
S Cub in the chat is saying he's pissed that coaches didn't challenge.
And here's where I stand, because I feel like I have to. I don't know. People accuse me of being a gatekeeper and like, oh, you don't like new fans. No, I love new fans. And you can be critical of the guys, and you can say, I don't like Braden Davis. You can say, I don't like this guy. You can say what you cannot say. I mean, you can say anything you want, but I can also say you're an idiot. You cannot say that Braden Davis sucks. I mean, what are you talking about? You cannot say people criticizing Dylan Fishback. Dylan Fishback has been very, very good. Braden Davis has been very, very good. He's a Big Ten champ. He wrestled 3 weights. He qualified 3 weights. I just listen. You can say whatever you want. You can like who you like and not like who you, but there's a lot of newbie Johnny come lately fans that get personal. You're getting personal and you're being objectively false.
Preach.
So yeah,
Get him.
idiots. 149.
Hold on. We're not even halfway through 141.
What are you talking about?
We're not even. We didn't even talk about the quarterfinals. We didn't talk about anything.
I said every result. Okay,
All right.
141 semis are Mendez Vombauer, Stanich S. What a great one there. Hardy Composto. Hardy Cornella, Nasir Vega.
Yeah, and that it's really interesting because Stanich is minus money against Echemendia, which I did not see coming into this. I like Stanich. I wrote my bracket. Stanich wins that one late against Echemendia, but he is now minus money for that match. Nasir Bailey is like plus 375, which we'll get to the odds in a minute. But Willie really likes Nasir in that match. Have you changed from that, or are you still going Nasir over Vega?
Here's the thing. I don't really like it. I'm not saying like Nasir's going to win. I'm not saying that. I'm saying in November he had Vega on the ropes. It was a very close match, and I think he's wrestling better now. I think Nasir has a shot. I'm not. He's an underdog for sure. I mean, the expectation is Vega's going to find a way to win that match. I'm just saying, for a 2 seed. Most 2 seeds, you say next topic, the 2 seeds winning. And I think this year has a chance here.
They said, do you guys give Stanich a chance to beat Mendez? I give Stanich a chance to beat anybody. That kid is just a dog. Mendez is obviously going to be a big favorite. But yes, I give Stanich a chance to beat anybody in this bracket.
Okay, 149, another kind of, it's chalkish except for one quad. Chalkish on my picks. Van Ness beats Frost and pins Frost in like 3 seconds. Swiderski beats Evans. Young beat Coy Biskins. Lamer continues the hot streak. Lamer beat Zargo. Now he beats Colin Guy. Zargo went 0-2, by the way.
Yeah. This sets up your classic 12 versus 20 seed with those two going down.
12 versus 20 seed. Wazlewski nips Rachi late. Now, here's what I'm saying about chalk, but not chalk to seeds. Lackland beats Caleb Tyus, so that's 11/6. But I had Lackland, and some of my picks went well. Some of my picks, like Klinsky, did not. But I said as soon as the brackets came out, Lackland as an 11 is really interesting, and he could make it. He can make it, and he's looking good so far. Valencia beat Styles, another hit to Ohio State, and Joy beat Block. Okay, there's a perfect example of one of my reaches not going right. Joy beat Block pretty soundly. Some people think that it was interesting, but I don't. Joy beat him.
I didn't see the end of it, but I thought Joy. I didn't really think it was 10-3 result. There was something about a takedown at the end. I must have missed it, but Stanford, by the way, having a sneaky good tournament. Parko's doing really well. Parko gets 2 massive upsets, which we'll talk about a little bit.
Where are they in the team standings?
Cardenas was just there, about to beat Cannon. Let me look. Stanford is 15
eighth.
Points with 3 in the quarters.
You just gotta freaking. That Cardenas loss is so gutting. We'll get to that right now, actually. All right, quarterfinals at 149. Van Ness, Swiderski, Young Lamer, Wazlewski, Lachlan McNeil, Valencia, and Joy.
Willie, what is your The chat is saying the Joy Valencia loser will be in the same quad as the guy in Koi in the consies. This starts to get there's some of these quads that are so crazy. Like I had 473, which I think might actually still stand. Yeah, because it might be Block versus Styles that matches this morning. Well, they both got to win first, but yeah, I see what it is. We could get Guy versus Biskins in the next round. 4 versus 5 on a Friday morning in the consies.
Yeah, ACC finalists, right?
Yeah. These are going to be some awesome quarters. Awesome quarters.
All right, 157, all chalk. All chalk here. Top 8 seeds get in. The only one I had wrong, I had Cardenas over Cannon, and it looked good for a minute, but I just don't understand what Cardenas was doing. I mean, he has a good lead. I mean, frankly, just cut him, but he gives up a reversal. And then in the takedown, first, I think he just panicked. I think it was just in his head. Cannon gets in on a pretty easy shot, but still like defensible. And Cardenas is locked through the crotch. Just stay locked. Stay locked. Don't break the lock. And then he goes to an ankle, and he kind of gives up on that. And just the decision-making there in several instances, I just think the moment got to him because he made, like, rookie mistakes, and that just doesn't map. He goes to Stanford. He's pretty smart. Duke pins Meckler.
Duke looking strong. 2 quick pins. Minute 56 and then a minute 38. And now this morning, we said this yesterday, this might be his toughest match of the tournament. Not necessarily opponent, but not just the Brandon Cannon so tough, but Friday morning off the scale. And this is gonna be a dogfight for Cannon. Then we got Robideau Larkin. What?
Fellers is saying Cardenas gassed. Gassing does not make you do. Just it doesn't take a whole lot of anaerobic energy to just stay like this instead of going like this. This Fellers? Are you saying that this? Are you saying that this is too much? This was a bridge too far for Cardenas? It's not true.
Feller says Duke by body bag.
Shapiro over Miller, Waters over Swisher, Webster over Rosinski, Taylor over Catrabone, R 157. Quarterfinals: Duke Cannon, Robideau Larkin, Shapiro, Waters, Webster, Taylor. What an excellent set! I mean, that might be the best set of quarters at any weight.
I think Waters too is like plus good money. And Waters looked great yesterday. He looked really good.
Honestly, I am chomping at the bit to get through this so we can look at odds because I haven't seen them yet, and I'm really interested in them. 165, lots of upsets. Mesenbrink beat Patty. Hepner beat Bianchi. Caesar Alvin with the overtime fall of D. Lockett. One of the few blemishes for Okie State. And, there's a lot of people raging about D. Lockett. And, really it's D has been playing with fire all year. Other than the first weekend of the national duels where it was a scrappy match with Caliendo, ever since the national duels weekend, D has been playing like, let's just... it's overtime's fine. There's no urgency to score. And listen, D. Lockett that's the thing about college wrestling. That's why we watch. D is 100% more talented and credentialed than Caesar Alvin, but Caesar Alvin got it done.
Yeah, and D, I'll be very interested to see how D rebounds today. He was very emotional after that loss, and was it the Tyler Lillard match yesterday. Like sometimes these guys too, like if they think they win, or like there's so much like David challenged it because the overtime sequence was Lockett started the sequence of taking him down, and then he got thrown to his back, kind of rolled through.
I'm
And
100%. I'm 100% with the captain on this one, who tweeted, but people said it was a bad challenge, and on paper it was a bad challenge. That was not. And to all the Oklahoma State fans that are tweeting about it, and the Oklahoma State fans that I looked at their message board, and they're defending it, that D had a takedown before the roll through. You are biased or high or both. There's a lot of weed shops in Oklahoma, and maybe you are a patron of them, because that was not even in the vicinity of a takedown before the roll through. So stop. That's just orange colored glasses. But somebody tweeted that was the worst challenge, and it was a there was no way that was getting overturned. Nobody with a brain thought that was a takedown. But I'm with the captain on this one. Oklahoma State challenged for symbolic reasons, to reinforce to D that they were supporting him. And you can debate that, if they should do that till the cows come home. I got no comment on that, but that's what that was. They were not winning that challenge, and they knew they weren't winning that challenge. David knows that.
D versus LJ this morning in the
That
consensus is a monster
in the
match.
team race. Who thought? Okay, I had in crystal ball, I had Ohio State 2, Nebraska 3, by a couple points over Okie State. Who the hell thought that a pivotal team race match would come in the second round wrestlebacks?
Crazy. Yeah,
And that's what it's going to
be this morning.
It's going to be D. Lockett and LJ Araju, Nebraska, Okie State in the second round. Big match for the team race. And on paper, D. Lockett is a superstar and LJ is a nice little wrestler. That's the narrative. But that was an overtime match in the duel. So we'll see.
And then the winner of that, so LJ versus D. Lockett, winner of that likely gets Minnesota's Sparks. Winner of that likely gets Will Denny. So 3 matches now for one of those, either Lockett or Arujau, if they want to AA. So
absolutely brutal. It was a brutal loss for LJ. Just you're up a bunch against EJ Parco, and the wheels come off. I don't blame. I don't blame LJ. It was just he should have handled it better, had a little bit more composure, wrestled smarter. But 15 seconds, EJ scored 5 points in about a span of 3 seconds. It was just really.
Elder Brad in the chat loves Snipes. Says the Citadel disrespect is wild. Why? For saying Sparks will likely beat Snipes? Elder Brad.
Hold on. What are we talking about here?
Elder Brad's upset. Elder Brad's upset because I said likely Sparks. Snipes of the Citadel is who Sparks is wrestling on the other side of that quad in the consies. Snipes beat Sparks at SC Open this season. Okay. I said likely.
Either way, that wrestleback group is really tough. Okay, Caliendo beat Mulvaney. Parco beat Ryder Downey. So Parco has now gone wins over the 6 and the 11. Both of them All-American. No. One a 6 seed, one an All-American. Excellent job by Parco. This is a guy who, and I said heading into ACCs, Parco's on a heater. Not on a heater. Parco's looking very good, but I didn't expect this. I didn't expect this. This is a guy that only got into the lineup because Hunter Garvin was lost for the year. So,
Willie, we have breaking
awful.
news.
Yeah, I know. Chuck Norris died.
Chuck Norris dead at 86.
We lost
Wow.
Chuck. We lost Chuck. We lost
R.I.P.
Chuck.
to a legend. Oh, what a bummer.
Also breaking news. I'm told that Donald Trump's going to NCAA Finals.
Here we go.
So Parco beat Downey. Denny beat Brignola. Blaze beat Uton. So our 165 quarters, Mitch Mesenbrink against Bryce Hepner. Cesar Alvin versus Ruiz. Mikey Caliendo against Parco. Denny against Blaze. And so this doesn't count. I'm going to take Cesar Alvin.
Over Ruiz.
Oh, yeah. Give it to me.
Well, I got D making it to the semis, so this weight, I got nothing. I can't.
Well, yeah, I did too, but
Yeah. Yeah, so
right,
those are going to be fun. Some awesome wrestlebacks to watch.
174, all chalk except for Gatan beating Matty Singleton. You had Haynes over Fine, Mantanona over Facundo. Oh my God, we have to talk about this just real briefly. I'm
What
trying
would
to
you
get
like to talk
through this
about?
fast.
Don't worry about getting through it fast. We take time. We take time.
Facundo Mantanona is starting. And they have Quint Kesnich at the beginning of the match.
Oh
Instead of
my
showing
gosh.
any wrestlers, they have Quint Kesnich in the stands talking to some fan. And yeah, this guy wrestled at Navy in 1947. And this is my buddy Biff. He's been coming here for 20 years. I don't care about fucking Biff. I want to watch
Such
the
a
match.
bad time. Such a bad time for that segment. You literally missed the entire first period of Facundo Mantanona. I had on ESPN Plus with Sparks and McMullen on a big TV, and then I had ESPN2 on a little one. So thankfully, because ESPN Plus Mattcast had everything, you got to see it. But yeah, that was brutal. I saw some people brutal.
I'm changing my Twitter handle to my friend Biff.
You mean so we shouldn't stop the show right now and have Biff on?
I mean, God.
You want to have Biff on right now? We'll get Biff. You think we can secure Biff for the show? All right, so yeah.
Willie, explain your fixation on Quint. We know the broadcast stinks. Same story every year. My fixation on Quint is he's terrible. He's been terrible for freaking decades. Every segment he says some nonsense. Every single segment is nonsense, and every single post-match interview is cringe. Replace him. They replaced Daniel Cormier. Replace Quint with somebody, anybody. He's terrible. That's my fixation. What do you mean, what's my fixation? He's been horrible for 2 decades. What's my fixation? What are you talking about? Hey, I did get a ballsy out on a limb, have some Stones picks. I got Danny Wask.
You did.
I got Danny Wask. So our 174-pound quarterfinals, Haynes Mantanona, Kennedy Karchla for the umpteenth time, Minto Gatan, Steed, and Wask. I'm really, really interested in the Steed Wask. And I also like that it's sort of under the radar. Steed's not a superstar. Wask not a superstar. One of them's getting to the semis. I love it.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun weight. Very fun way. Obviously, Messenbrink is looking so damn dominant. He's keeping the 100% bonus alive. 1, 2, 3, 4 looking like they're going to make the semis, but fun weight nonetheless.
184, all chalk except for, what did I tell you? What did I tell you? In the betting odds segment yesterday, I was perplexed. I was perplexed at the odds for Soldano Conway. I said, what are you talking about? Way too much value for Soldano. I know he hasn't looked great, but Conway was just in a dogfight with the number 29 seed Nick Fox. He took him down with 30 seconds to go. He lost last week to Caleb freaking Campos. And you're going to give Soldano plus like 375. Put money on Soldano, and I made you money. Other than that, not much. Not much was really interesting. Welsh beat Rogers. Allred beat Moore. So Welsh Allred quarter. Mantanone over Fishback. Soldano over Conway. Mantanone Soldano quarter. Mickinelli over Bullock. Nietenbach over Zach Ryder. So Max against Nietenbach.
Ferrari Sinclair.
Circle it, baby. It's going to be
Ferrari Sinclair, Rocco Allred. Brock Soldano, some fun, some good quarters.
Gonna be a beaut. Okay, we got another here, like story of the tournament at 197. Colton Hawks beats 4 seed Sonny Sasso, then one-time All-American Bennett Berge. Colton Hawks, the 7-9 record 29 seed, makes the quarterfinals.
Crazy. And we'll talk about it too with heavyweights, but because 2 more went down. 6 20-plus seeds into the quarters. I'll say that again. 6 20-plus seeds into the quarters. Bananas.
Awesome.
Bananas.
That's why we watch. Okay. Posada beat Bates. Novak beat Rune Lawrence. I think the other story here.
Well, there's 2 big stories on the bottom side.
Hawks was huge.
Hawks was big. Rademacher loses and Elam loses.
Elam, no offense whatsoever to Remy Cotton. He's had an excellent year. Remy Cotton has had. No offense to him. But Elam, good Lord, was a shell of himself. He couldn't move. He could not move.
Yeah, and, Dresser said it like he was off the mat between Big 12's NCAA's. Him and Dean had, kind of talked about earlier in the show. But, it was... I texted him, too. I felt bad. You had mentioned him. I had mentioned him in the all-feel-good team. And you want to see him go out on top or at least have a good tournament. And being a shell of yourself definitely stinks.
Yeah. So Remy Cotton into the quarters. The other story down here was Cam McDaniel, and Rademacher having a dogfight match with like coming into the tournament. Rademacher is something in 1 against Cam McDaniel, all in freestyle, and I thought Rademacher next topic, maybe not blowout, but Rademacher next topic over McDaniel. Well, Rademacher has a dogfight match with a 174 pounder, winning by 1 second of riding time, and then he gets majored by McDaniel. So, interesting, really interesting.
Yeah, would not have had that bottom quad of Little, McDaniel, Merrill, Cotton. This is your bottom 4 in the quarters.
Yeah, right?
And how about now? So you want to talk team race? Geog, Ohio State, has a very tough one. Now he has Rademacher this morning in the consies.
Well, who does? Geog?
Luke Geog and Justin Rademacher in the consies this morning.
That's brutal for Ohio State. That being said, Rademacher's not wrestling well, so I don't know.
He's not. Gabe Solers, Bennett Berge in a consi. Gabe Arnold, he's got Lawrence. There's some very interesting consies down there. We kind of said that when we were doing our brackets, but
yeah.
And then how about this?
Couple good comments in the chat. First of all, Feller's saying Merrill to the finals. That's really hidden Okie State points that you did not expect. A 7 seed Merrill with Rocky Elam dispatched.
Ryan Briggs with a $9.99 super chat. Thank you, Ryan. We're happy to do this.
Yeah, appreciate you. So that is a good observation by Fellers. Merrill could get there, but I will say this: Um, Now, here's the thing about Cody Merrill. He just kind of squeaks by everything. So, on one hand, like I was going to say, the McDaniel Merrill match in the duel was a dogfight. It was a
Yeah.
dogfight. McDaniel was really close to a couple takedowns. It was super dogfight. So, if it would happen to be McDaniel Merrill, that's a real dogfight. But I don't know
Willie,
that McDaniel's beating Little. Yeah, we'll see.
how about you want to talk with some of these upsets? I'm just looking at the Conci brackets. Winner of Gia Rademacher likely gets Sonny Sasso. How about
Yeah.
that for aquatic Concis down there?
Yeah, somebody else in the chat said people were talking about watch out for Sasso. That didn't age well. Uh if you watch Sasso at ACCs, you'll understand why. There's no way you watched ACCs if you don't understand why people thought Sasso could go on a run.
By the way, he can still wrestle back. He got a nice pin over Ingham, Wyatt Ingham, in the Concis. He's look, one of these guys got to go. Like these guys got to. We're gonna have a blood round, and Sonny Sasso very well could be in it. He's got no doubt a tough path. Sonny Sasso would have to be if Sonny Sasso wins his first match, I think he will. He'll have the winner of Georg Rademacher. If he wins that, he'll then have the loser of Bar Posada, so likely Posada. And
Yeah,
Sasso
yeah,
can beat Posada. So Sonny Sasso very well could be wrestling tonight for AA, and now he's minimum eighth. So
yeah.
some very interesting, awesome quarters.
Um, Heavyweight, some weird stuff here. Mora beats Feldman, and I said after yesterday's first session show, what the hell's Feldman doing? What the hell's Feldman looked bad? I don't know. Stoner, as much as Feldman won it, Stoner kind of blew it. And then I heard the Tom Ryan interview that said Feldman isn't right, and I said, okay, maybe okay. Now I kind of get it. And then I watched the Mora match, and now I get it. Feldman is not right. That's not the Nick Feldman we know and love. So that explains that. But it's a huge knock for Ohio State. Mora gets to the semis, and it's sort of we. I tend to think of these for every match that happens among power teams. I immediately move on to the implications for the team race, and Nebraska got some like for Ohio State. It's really bad. For Nebraska, like no offense to Oklahoma, no offense to California, no offense to Juan Mora, but this is a plus for freaking Nebraska. He got Juan Mora instead of Nick Feldman.
And by the way, you want to talk Ohio State team race? Nick Feldman now has Nathan Taylor, the 5'6" in a wrestle back this morning. The 5'6".
Wow! In the second round.
In the second round of Concis.
Oh my God, that's brutal. So, yeah, like major implications there. You got LJ Raju, D Lockett in a second round wrestleback, two podium team contenders, and then you got Ferrari having a nice path with Mora instead of Feldman. And you have Feldman down there with Lehigh, Nathan Taylor. So big implications for the team race. Tay Gadiali looked great in a major over Coy Hopke. Katka beat Devin Dawson. So Katka beats Nathan Taylor.
He teched Hopke. 15-0. Yeah. He teched him 15-0 after getting a 17-2 tech the first round. 32-2, he's outscoring people through two matches.
He looks great. Another big team race thing. Doucette beat Zuba, so that's a really plus for Oklahoma State. That's a 7/10. You never know how those are going to go. Trumbull beats Brady Colbert. So our quarterfinals at 285. Younger and Keeter. Oh, there's another one we missed. Keeter Marisola was highly anticipated, big for Iowa's podium chances, and Keeter gets it done. Younger, Keeter, quarterfinal, Mora, Ferrari, Tay, Kaka, Doucette, Trumbull. It's crazy. those two middle ones. Those are Mora and Kako, not the guys we thought were being quarters.
I
I
know.
mean, you have a 21 and a 27 in quarters at heavyweight.
Crazy. 6 20-plus seeds in the quarters this morning. And the wrestlebacks at heavyweight, we said this when we were doing our first annual 640 over the weekend. I mean, just look at some of these wrestlebacks and what you're going to have next round. I mean, Marisola gets a win here, I think, and then he'll have the winner of Christian Carroll, Jimmy Mullen next round. You got Taylor Feldman, winner, I think, going to see Pitzer. So crazy. Wrestlebacks at 285 are going to be wild.
Craig Whitaker says the talk, Willie, going right at me. The talk, Willie, was Sasso beating Barr. I don't know what moron said that, but that is outlandish. Okay, let's go to betting odds, bud. Put them up on the screen. I not seen these yet, so I'm gonna view them for the first time and riding the wave of my huge Wask pick, my huge Saldano pick. I'm making the people money. Let's see if I can do it for a second round in a row. Bash.
They're on the screen. You got Lilidol minus
Okay.
3,000. Oh, my goodness. Minus 3,000 over Dean Peterson. And by the way, these lines have been out since last night. So it's very much... Yeah, but my point is, it's very much money coming in. Yeah, the lines are moving based on action coming in. And Willie made a great point when I brought up the betting odds to him on our call this morning, is that money seems to come in on the power programs.
Oh, yeah.
Money seems
They
to
have a
come in on
bigger
the power
fan base.
program. Yep.
So if you're new to betting, like if it's an NFL game and there's a million people betting on it, there's millions and millions of dollars. So if it's the Eagles and the Giants, there's so many millions of dollars being bet that if you bet $200 on the Eagles, the line don't move because it has to be proportional, right? $200 doesn't affect a line that has $5 million on each side of the bet. However, there's not a lot of volume being bet on these wrestling matches. So when there's $1,000 on each side and you bet 200, it's going to affect the line bigly. And who is doing the betting? A lot of the power program fan bases. And so, and a lot of the times, they are betting with hope, not logic, and with rose-colored glasses. And so it creates opportunities for you to say, the casuals bet this line into something that's not very good. It has a whole lot of value. And so that's what we get. Put them up on the screen, bud.
Well, we got a $5 super chat from Adam Fellers in the chat. Waters over Shapiro via PED's interview be coming soon. That's a $5 super chat from our friend Adam Fellers. All right, let's go back to the betting odds here. There we go.
Okay.
All right, so Lilidol, massive minus 3,000 favorite. Sheldon Seymour. I like Seymour at plus 240 here. Undefeated on the year. I thought he looked great. Had a close win in the second round, but Spratley, 3-1 favorite seems a little high value-wise. Not to say Spratley can't win it, but value-wise.
And when we're saying some of these plus things that we like, some of these guys that are plus money, we're not saying we are picking them to win. We're saying the value makes it tempting to bet on them. I agree. Plus 240 for Seymour is interesting. I think plus 215 for Moran is interesting.
Jory Volt minus 255. Jacob Moran plus 215.
I would be tempted to go with Moran just out of the value of it. McGowan plus 350. Ventresca minus 450. Jax untouchable. I think Larkin. I think Seidel's going to win. I would really. I wouldn't bet Larkin, but plus 550 seems
Yeah,
lot.
if you like Larkin at all, plus 550 is great value if you like Larkin here. Blaze minus 525, one of the smaller favorites on the betting odds for Penn State in this round. Drake Ayala plus 375. Chris KT with a $1.99 super chat says Wask plus 400 versus Steed is nuts. Did not see that yet. We will get there. Let's see here. Ben DeVino minus 315 against Lucas Bird. Lucas Bird plus 265, the returning national champ versus a freshman phenom. What do you make of that DeVino line?
Wouldn't touch it.
Jesse Mendez minus 2,500. Luke Stanich. I was hoping to get Luke at plus money, but Luke Stanich minus 140 against Echemendia, who is plus 120. Brock Hardy minus 400.
4-5 match.
Brock Hardy minus 400 over Vince Cornella, who's plus 330. Nasir Bailey.
I wouldn't touch that even. I think I don't know. I think Cornella. I think that's a good value for Cornella. I ain't picking Vince to win, but 330? I don't know. That's great.
Uh-oh.
What'd you do?
They just pulled the lines. 1
hour
hour
before the
before.
start.
Oh, that
down.
stinks.
Oh.
Boo!
Oh,
Dave Mason,
no.
give us a little bit more time.
Oh, we needed time.
Boo.
They're off the board.
Let me see. So I did take screenshots this morning. It's kind of a moot point now because I don't think you can bet it.
Yeah, you can't bet it.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what. Whoever in the chat said Wask plus 400. If that was real,
it is. I'm looking right now. Cam Steed minus 525. Danny Wask plus 400.
Wask plus 400. I'm gonna say it. That is retarded. Plus 400. He just beat the 2 seed. Plus 400. That is a bad line. Plus 400 for an All-American that beat the 2 seed last night. I'm not saying that guarantee Wask beats Steed. I'm not saying that. I picked Steed. But plus 400 is abominable. Abominable.
Yeah. Hey, guys, like the stream. If you're new around here, be sure to subscribe. 900 plus watching now. You guys rock. Be sure to subscribe. We'll be back this afternoon. Our plan as of right now is to recap the quarters and preview the semis, probably around 5:30. Semis are at 8. So we're going to try to do that. But that's quarters. We got very, very exciting quarters. We are less than an hour out from one of the greatest days in wrestling. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Feller says, what's the upset of the round? Final question of the stream. Upset of the round. Man. You know there's going to be a big one, too. I don't know. What do you think, William?
I don't know. Upset of the round? I don't know. That's why they're upsets. I don't know.
There you have it. Willie will do some looking and maybe tweet it out.
I think Cornella Hardy is a tight one. I think an interesting one. I think Moran Volk is an interesting one. Well, I know. My upset. My upset is Nasir. That's my
Team Rock and Anti-Hero. Talk 133 WTF. We talked 133. 21 minutes in. I don't. 133 was pretty chalk. 133 was pretty chalk. It's going to be exciting now, but I mean, you've got the top 8 seeds. So it's going to be fun. I'm sure we'll talk about 133 a lot more after the quarters. Jax looks awesome, though. All right. That's the show. $2 super chat from Patrick Farm 67 Parham. Patrick Parham. Thank you, Patrick. You guys rock. We'll be back later with another live stream. Let's go watch some wrestling. Go Bills.